Good morning, students. Today's lecture it's about the special movements that takes place at the subtalar joint, inversion and eversion. So before going into the topic, so what are the joints, the small joints of the foot? Okay. So hope you know the three parts of the foot. We have the forefoot, midfoot, and the hindfoot. The forefoot are the uh, articulated foot. It consists of these joints. So we have intermetatarsal joints, metatarsophalangeal joints, and the interphalangeal joints. Come to the midfoot, so we have torsometatarsal joints and the mid-tarsal joints. So this mid-tarsal joint, otherwise called transverse tarsal joint. Okay. So next come to the hind foot. So the important joint, the subtalar, so where the inversion eversion takes place at these joints, and the talocalcaneonavicular. So these are all the small joints of the foot, and so it's very important. Hope it's clear for you. So what are the joints of forefoot? So because to understand the eversion and inversion, so these joints are very important. Okay. So coming to the important joints, so of course already it is discussed in the joints of foot class, but still once again, so we'll discuss briefly about this joint, what is called subtalar joint. So the second major joint after the ankle joint in the foot. So we have subtalar, so articulation between the talus and the calcaneum. So in the osteology class, the demonstration also we discussed about the articulation between this talus and the calcaneum. So the superior surface of the calcaneum and the inferior surface of the talus, so consisting of the three facets, these three facets that articulate to form the talocalcanean joint. Okay, so where the inversion eversion primarily occurs at this joint. Okay, so is otherwise called agility joint, so where the quick movements that takes place at this joint. So it is between the large posterior calcanean facet and the inferior surface of the talus and the corresponding posterior talar facet of the superior surface of the calcaneum. The articular cavity is enclosed by the synovial membrane, so which is called the fibrous capsule. So mainly the movements of these joints, so we have gliding and rotation, so which are involved in the inversion and eversion of the foot. So the one more joint, of course, functionally the talocalcaneonavicular, so these two together called as subtalar joint. So we have the talocalcaneonavicular, so it's a complex joint. So hope you know why it is complex, because more than two bones are involved in that. So we have talocalcaneo and navicular. So the talus, calcaneum and navicular are involved, so that is the reason this is a complex joint. Okay, and there is a ligament, important ligament called spring ligament, so that supports the head of the talus, so apart from the sustentaculum talli. Okay, so that is plantar, the spring ligament anatomically called plantar calcaneonavicular ligament. Okay, and the navicular bone in front, so it's about the articulation of head with the supported by the spring ligament and situated in the proximal concavity of the navicular, so thereby forming the joint there, talocalcaneonavicular joint. And the movements here, the same gliding and rotatory movements is together with the subtalar joint involved in the inversion and eversion. So here comes a picture that depicts the talocalcaneonavicular and its articulation, the talus, calcaneum and the navicular, how that articulates, thereby forming the talocalcaneonavicular. So you can see the spring ligament nicely supporting the head of the talus, and the sustentaculum talli also, it is seen nicely in this diagram. So here this area, so sustentaculum talli, and this is a spring ligament. So this area that forms the talocalcaneonavicular. You can see the articulation between the head of the talus and the proximal surface of the talus, which is navicular, which is concave, and the head simultaneously it is supported by the plantar calcaneo, ligament, so navicular ligament. So it's about the two important joints, the talocalcaneum and talocalcaneonavicular. So constitutes the subtalar joints. So the important movements, inversion, eversion. So coming to the movements. So what is inversion? So inversion, so mainly the inversion, the raising of the medial border of the foot. Okay. So apart from the raising the medial border, so these two movements, the supination, adduction, which takes place at the forefoot. So it's very important. So the supination and adduction at the forefoot, plantar flexion at the ankle. So that is the inversion at the subtalar joint, accompanied by these two movements. So the supination, adduction at the forefoot, plantar flexion at the ankle. Okay. So that is the combination of the supination, adduction, plantar flexion at the foot. So thereby inversion of the foot. So the range of movement is more inversion, it is 20 to 30 degrees. Okay. Of course, the range of movement decreases when the foot is on the ground. So when the foot is off the ground, the range is more, and when the foot is off the ground, the range is more, and on the ground it is restricted. So because of the body weight, so which is transferred over the talus and the ankle joint, and then comes to the anterior and posterior pillars of the foot. So thereby the inversion, of course the eversion also restricted when the foot is on the ground and the weight is transmitted over that. Okay. So coming to the eversion is raising the lateral border of the foot. Of course it is the range is 55 to 15 degrees. The range is very less comparatively the inversion. So the combination of these, so the pronation, abduction at forefoot, dorsiflexion at the ankle. So the combination of these movements. Okay, so if you raise the lateral border and simultaneously the combination of these movements, mainly the movements of the forefoot, pronation of the forefoot, okay, and also the abduction of the forefoot. Okay. So and followed by the dorsiflexion at the ankle. So that's about the eversion. Hope is it clear for you? Inversion, raising the medial border. So you can see the diagram here. So this is the diagram. So there is a neutral position of the foot, and this side comes the inversion where the medial border is raised, and you can see observe this area, the forefoot. Okay, so there is a supination and adduction, the adduction of the toes, hope you know the adduction at the toes, and the supination of the forefoot. And what is the movement at the ankle? That is plantar flexion. So opposite to this inversion, so you can see here this is eversion where the lateral border is raised. Okay, and thereby dorsiflexion at the ankle and the abduction of the toes and the pronation of the toes. Okay, that is forefoot, pronation, abduction at the forefoot. So that's about the inversion, eversion. Hope is it clear for you? What is inversion? What is eversion? Okay, so it is a combination of movements that is very important. The movements at the ankle and the forefoot, forefoot also very important. So while the inversion, eversion taking place, and these movements are very important movements that adjust the foot while you are walking on the uneven surface. So that is the important function of these two movements. Okay, that takes place at the subtalar joints. So what about the axis for these movements? So the axis that passes upwards, okay, forwards medially. So you can see here, so upwards forwards, and this superior view you can see it is going medially. It is going medially. Okay, upwards, forwards, medially through the sinus tarsi. So that is very important. So what is sinus tarsi? So here comes hope the sinus tarsi is clear for you in the osteology demonstration. I have shown the sinus tarsi, so formed by the sulcus calcaneae and sulcus talae. Okay, so the axis for the supination pronation that goes through the sinus tarsi. Sinus tarsi, the axis is oblique axis. You can see this is the oblique axis through which the supination, the inversion, eversion takes place. Okay, so that's about the axis for the inversion eversion movements. What are the muscles responsible for these movements? So coming to the inversion, the chief invertors of the foot. So we have the tibialis anterior, which is very important, chief inverter of the foot, and of course the tibialis posterior. Okay, so mainly tibialis anterior, assisted by these muscles: extensor hallucis longus, flexor digitorum longus, and flexor hallucis longus. Okay, so these are the muscles, okay, responsible for the inversion at the subtalar joint, inversion of the foot. Okay, of course, anyway, the movement is restricted while the foot is on the ground. Okay, so with the weight transmission. So it's about the inversion, the muscles responsible for the inversion. Coming to the eversion, the chief evertor of the foot is the peroneus longus and brevis. You can see here the primary evertors of the foot, peroneus longus and brevis. Okay, so and the other muscles that assist the eversion is the peroneus tertius and the extensor digitorum longus. Of course, I hope you know these two muscles are the lateral compartment muscles, and the peroneus tertius that comes in the anterior compartment of the leg. Okay, so that is accompanied by the other muscles, the extensor digitorum longus, extensor hallucis longus, okay, and tibialis anterior. Okay, that's about the muscles of anterior compartment. The peroneus tertius and extensor digitorum longus of anterior compartment that assist the peroneus longus and brevis in eversion. Okay. So that's about the chief evertors. So just remember the chief evertors, chief primary muscles, that is more than enough. Okay, the peroneus longus and brevis are the considered as evertors of the foot. Okay, so that's about the inversion, the eversion taking place at the subtalar joints. Hope you know what is a subtalar joint. Okay, it is the talocalcanea and the talocalcaneo-navicular are together called the subtalar joints. And briefly about the other movements and the joints, okay, in the foot. So what are the joints and what are the movements that takes place at the each and every joint? So we have distal tibiofibular. So what is called the syndesmosis. You know, the inferior tibiofibular or in distal tibiofibular joint. So there is a movement, there is a slight gliding movement. Okay, the lateral rotation of the fibula. So that takes place at the inferior tibiofibular joint. So otherwise called syndesmosis. Okay. So next to that joint, so we have the ankle joint. You know the ankle joint is uniaxial. So we have the dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, the tibiofibular mortis on the talus. Okay, body of the talus. Next comes the joint where the our topic, today's topic, the inversion eversion movements, that is subtalar joint. Okay. Next, the intertarsal joints. Okay, the other intertarsals, we have the calcaneo cuboid, okay, cuneo navicular. So all these joints, hope it is discussed in the last class, joints of the foot. Okay, so where the gliding and rotation takes place, and the tarsometatarsal joints. So we have gliding. The intermetatarsal joints, again gliding. So most of the joints of the foot, okay, so the gliding and the rotation. And coming here, the metatarsophalangeal joints, we have the flexion and extension. Okay, Apart from that, adduction, abduction, of course, all together the combination, so we have circumduction at the metatarso phalangeal joints, metatarsophalangeal joints. Okay, and the last joints, the interphalangeal joints, where the flexion and extension takes place. So that is to summarize the joints of foot and their movements. Okay, from the distal tibiofibular joint to the interphalangeal joint. So that's about the main movements in the foot and very important movements. So while you are walking on the uneven surfaces, okay, the foot is adjusted with the help of these movements. So we have inversion, eversion movements. Hope it is clear for you. The inversion, eversion, okay, that takes place at the subtalar joint. So always you have to remember, it's very important. Okay, the inversion, eversion takes place at the subtalar, not at the ankle joint. Okay, so what is inversion? What is eversion? Movements and the axis for the inversion, eversion movements, and the movement where it is taking place. Okay, and the muscles responsible for these movements. Okay, so we have the muscles for the inversion, muscles for the chief inverter is the tibialis anterior, and the chief evertor of the peroneus brevis and peroneus longus. Okay, so we have these are the questions expected from the inversion, eversion movements. Of course, these movements are important short notes, 5 marks sometimes. What is inversion? What is eversion? And the muscles responsible for the movements. Subtalar joint, sometimes important short notes. And the inverters of the foot is short notes. Okay, when they say tibialis anterior. Okay, and assisted by the other muscles assisting the inversion movement. So that's about the today's topic. It's quite a small topic. The inversion, eversion movements. So if you understand the movements, the combination of the other movements, so the supination, pronation, adduction, abduction at the forefoot together, and the dorsiflexion, plantar flexion at the ankle joint. So the combination of all these movements, okay, so that is that allows the inversion, eversion at the foot, okay, of course at the subtalar joints. So that's for today's class. Thank you for your patience listening.